Most painful is that after elections, ASU will go on strike severally, disrupting academic calendar and hindering the growth and progress of the youths in this country when they are complaining of one policy of government or the other. But where are they today? I had serious argument with their president early this morning when he was telling me that they don't participate in partisan discussion, that this program looks as if it's partisan. I now asked him, if your members rig election for political parties and they collect bribe in schools for students to go in and they do all manner of things, why won't you come and discuss with the politicians how you can stop all this your incessant strike? And today we are here. I've not seen him present here, hoping that he may come. He may not come, but that is trying to give an example of what to mean. So we need to, the political parties and their members also need to interrogate the professional bodies themselves. Some are put together as things that are arranged to collect money and harass government for settlement. They are not really put together for the interest of the Nigerian people. America. He actually requested we do it by Zoom, but looking at the erratic network here, it may not be feasible. So I decided to take up that responsibility. And then his representative will also, consolidate or add value to whatever I'm going to say, hoping that I may not veer off too much. That is why the document is a little scanty. With due protocols, I recognize the chairman of this occasion, Engineer Charles Okoro, my elder uncle. I recognize Captain Briggs. I appreciate your presence here. I appreciate the presence of representative of Professor Patu Tomi. And then Nigerian Society of Engineers. Honestly, I know few people are here. You may be discouraged by what you've seen, but then we won't go to their houses to pull them out. We wrote 61 professional bodies, and we kept making calls, we kept doing all we could do. But this is what we have seen. But again, I heard that Jesus is the only child of this father, and the whole world is worshiping him in Christendom today. All the political parties I've heard about, one person forms them. A few joins him. But the impact they make along the line make millions to become part of it. I remember a few months ago, NDC was being mentioned. In fact, ADC has been 20 years. And today, ADC is a national name in politics. I had NDC the other day, youths in Bayelsa who gather around Senator Dixon. Today, NDC is the reigning one. So we too here can make professionals for good governance become an issue where the professionals will hold the political class accountable. It doesn't matter how many we are. I recognize the administrative chartered administrators representative here. The Licensed Electrical Contractors Association of Nigeria. They are equally professionals in the safety angle of the electricity sector. And the media. I see News Agency of Nigeria, I see Punch newspaper, I see Voicetv. And then my team from Association for Public Policy Analysis, I want to recognize everybody. Nigerian professionals and sustainable democracy, issues and perspectives. Nigerian professionals are people who have special training, education and skills and are paid to do a specific kind of work. The professionals organize themselves into professional organizations/associations through which they aggregate, protect and promote their interests as well as and put pressure on government to implement policies and programs that favor their members. In fact, professional associations can be described as interest groups or organizations of people who come together because they share the same professional goals or concerns and try to influence decisions, especially in government or society. Unfortunately, these great potentials of professional interest groups have not been brought to bear in Nigeria's democratic struggle as it is done in other climes since 1999. In democratic societies, professional organized interest groups influence decisions from the politicking, electioneering, governance stages. It is the professional bodies that advocate for ideological politics as they apply their expertise to articulate policies and programs that shape governance, ideology, and manifestos of political parties and candidates. Milton C. Cummings Jr. and David Wise, in their book Democracy Under Pressure, said, although every citizen is ought to be active in the affairs of his community or nation, in actual practice, participation is almost entirely limited to organized interest groups or lobbies who want something from government. As a result, legislation tends to favor the interest of the organized or businessmen, not consumers, even though the latter are vast majority, of landlords and not tenants, doctors, not patients. The failure of the Nigerian professionals to collectively participate actively in the democratic process has in recent years led to professionals in Nigeria complaining about bad governance and how it is affecting their professions. Teachers under Nigerian Union of Teachers, medical personnel under Nigerian Medical Association, midwives, nurses, pharmacists, lecturers in the universities and polytechnics, lawyers, accountants, engineers, to mention a few, all complain of one government policy or the other affecting them. Hence, good governance should be looked at from the angle of professionals in Nigeria in a number of ways. 1. Are Nigerian professionals applying principles of participation, equality, justice, and fair play in their relationship with the nation's political class? 2. Are Nigerian professionals supporting democratic governance in Nigeria? If we look at what is happening in the law courts now, should we be saying that the legal professionals are really supporting sustainable democracy, or they're becoming agents of destruction or derailment of democratic process in the country? 3. Are they participating in party politics, conduct elections, contesting elections? I'm aware that most professors in the academia operate as returning officers during elections. Their products work as this ad hoc staff of INEC during elections. But what are they bringing to bear? The rigging of elections, the manipulation of the electoral process, doesn't really reflect that the academia are supporting democracy or destroying democracy. Most painful is that after elections, ASU will go on strike severally, disrupting academic calendar and hindering the growth and progress of the youths in this country when they are complaining of one policy of government or the other. But where are they today? I had serious argument with their president early this morning when he was telling me that they don't participate in partisan discussion, that this program looks as if it's partisan. I now asked him, if your members rig election for political parties and they collect bribe in schools for students to go in, and they do all manner of things, why won't you come and discuss with the politicians how you can stop all this your incessant strike? And today we are here. I've not seen him present here, hoping that he may come. He may not come, but that is trying to give an example of what we mean. So we need to, the political parties and their members also need to interrogate the professional bodies themselves. Some are put together as things that are arranged to collect money and harass government for settlement. They are not really put together for the interest of the Nigerian people. And if that is being done, I want to call on the media people present. Please, it is time to investigate the professional bodies. Let us know the ones that really love this country and the ones that are put together to destroy the country. It's important we do that. The youths today, in the southeast where I come from, for my son to get clearance from Imo State University, we spent almost 500,000. For a youth to write the exam, you give money. To write term paper, you give money. To get admission is a problem. If the political parties cannot address this, why are the youths following them? I believe that before the youth should follow a political party, let these issues be addressed. Because you can't go to school and then it's only money you are using and you are not reading anymore. At the end of the day, the institution that should develop you is destroying you. And we've not had the politicians tell us about that. We've not had the candidates address this. Look at the rate of insecurity. What are the people that want to rule us now telling us? What is their position? on insecurity in this country. We've not had any of them come up with any plan on this. Look at famine, the cost of food. We've not had any of them tell us anything on that. But we will rule, we will rule. And then what we are deceived is bring tribalism, bring ethnicity, bring sentiment. And then make people begin to argue over tribalism and ethnicity rather than arguing about issues that can develop the country. Before I derail, let me continue reading. Our Nigerian professionals factoring their concerns into political party ideologies or manifesto. If you look at any of the manifesto of the political parties today, does any of those manifesto really reflect the interest of professional bodies? Is a major question we need to ask. Does the campaign message of the candidates reflect the interest of professional bodies? Are professionals appointed to head relevant ministries, departments, and agencies? The right answer to these questions can only be found if professionals fully participate in the democratic process by holding the Independent National Electoral Commission, political parties, and candidates accountable during and after elections. Unfortunately, there is no Nigerian professional political advocacy platform that brings them together to appraise the political situation and identify its impact on the professional community in the country. This is the reason for initiating Nigerian Professionals Forum for Good Governance. The negative consequences of inactive participation of professional interest groups in efforts towards sustainability of democracy since 2023 are justification for this. Since the end of 2023 general elections that brought the Tinubu-led administration to power, professionals in Nigeria have been complaining of one problem or the other, to the extent that some of their members have traveled to other countries where they consider the environment better for professional practice. Example of the complaints is the appointment of non-professionals to occupy sub-ministries, departments, and agencies that require the expertise of professionals. Some decisions by political leaders are not proper, thereby failing to provide the expected results. Favoritism, psychophancy, and psychophancy is considered over merit and capacity in political appointments. One would expect that Nigerian professionals, being educated and exposed to governance and leadership issues, would understand democratic systems and take advantage of its political and electioneering opportunities to position their professional bodies and members, create better environment, as well as produce democratic leadership that will key into their visions and aspirations. Unfortunately, this expectation is not realized. Hence the need for political action and solutions for the resolution of professional challenges through Nigerian Professionals for Good Governance. It is sad to observe that preparations for the 2027 general elections have been generating serious concern among political parties and the Independent National Electoral Commission. But the over 100 professional associations in Nigeria have not deemed it necessary to come together to appraise the situation and lend their voice either in condemnation or support of the situation. Instead, the issue is left for only the political parties, civil society organizations, and INEC, as if the country is for only them. The worrisome situation is that at the end of this season of politicking and elections, when winners emerge, the now silent professionals and their organizations will start complaining of how bad policies are designed and implemented, or how the sitting government failed to use professionals to deliver on their policies and programs as political appointees. The above stated attitude of professionals towards democratic sustainability in Nigeria reveals lack of constitutional understanding of the role of the Nigerian citizen by professionals, or outright selfishness or smartness, in bracket, not to get involved during the struggle, but ready to exploit opportunities that come after the struggle. In the book titled Declaration of Independence, Cross-Examining American Ideology, Howazin in 1991, the author of A People's History of the United States, writing on American ideology, posited thus: democracy rests on the idea that except for technical details for which experts may be useful, the important decisions of society are within the capability of ordinary citizens. Not only can ordinary people make decisions about these issues, but they ought to, because citizens understand their own interests more clearly than any expert. Furthermore, he observed, the people who control wealth and power today do not want any change in the system. In a society so unequal in wealth, the rich dominate any procedure. It will take fundamental changes in the economic system and in the distribution of wealth to create an atmosphere in which council of people in workplaces and neighborhoods can meet and talk and make something approximately democratic decisions, approximating democratic decisions. No constitution, no bill of rights, no voting procedures, no piece of legislation can assure us of peace or justice or equality. That requires a constant struggle, a continuous discussion among citizens, an endless series of organizations and movements like we are doing today, creating a pressure on whether procedures, whatever procedure there are. Those who have experience know that unlike the pony act of voting, being with others in a great movement for social justice not only makes democracy come alive, it makes the people engaged in it come alive. It is satisfying, it is pleasurable. Change is difficult, but if it comes, that will most likely be the way. Section 14(2)(c) of the 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, as amended, provides that the participation of the people in their government shall be ensured, while Section 24(d) states that it is the duty of every citizen to make positive and useful contribution to the advancement, progress, and well-being of the community where he resides. Section 24(e) provides that it is the duty of every citizen to render assistance to appropriate and lawful agencies in maintenance of law and order. Nigerian professionals need to take advantage of these constitutional provisions as citizens of Nigeria to contribute in the country's effort to sustain democratic governance without sitting on the fence, knowing fully well that they have serious stake in sustained democratic governance in Nigeria. As professionals, their knowledge could help in shaping ideologies and conduct of election managers, as well as put checks on the leadership that emerges from elections. This is the keynote, what I can present for this forum. I just want to believe I've made a little bit of sense. Thank you very much for